After my video on old guys and our egos, I got a lot of thoughtful comments and some interesting points were brought up. Many echoed the sentiments of Clint Eastwood when he said, "Don't let the old man in," or the old adages, "Age is only a number, and you are as old as you feel." While I think that if you have been watching this channel, you know that I am not letting being old stop me from doing the things I want to do. Still, some think I should not be referring to myself as old or ancient, as I still seem young and vibrant. Those are my words, not theirs. While I appreciate the kind words, I guess I just don't see being old as a bad thing. My references to myself or others of my age as ancient is part a big middle finger to Father Time and part an acceptance that things do indeed change. The truth is that I feel better today than I have in many years. I no longer have to deal with the stresses of work, and I have made going to the gym on a consistent basis part of my daily job. I am stronger than I have been in a decade and even stronger than most of the young guys in the gym. However, that does not mean that I can do everything I could when I was 25 or 30. To illustrate this, here's one comment that I found interesting. Without pushing ourselves to the limit, we would never get better, and age and ego have nothing to do with anything. Muscles and skills know nothing about age. Practice and keep your body healthy and strong, and you can ride forever. Believe me, all of us sextagenarians and beyond wish that this was the case, but in fact, just the opposite is true. Inside my head, I am still the same 20-year-old kid that was fighting full contact karate and the 25-year-old that was bench pressing 315 pounds. But my body is just not the same. Yes, I can still lift heavy, but I have learned that in order to do that, I need to make certain accommodations for my aging muscles and joints. I no longer try to push heavy weights on the bench press, for example. Rather, I go to the chest press or incline press machine where the movements are more isolated and controlled. This small adaptation allows me to work out with a lower chance of injury. Now, as an older guy, I work out smarter than when I was young. Putting this in motorcycle terms, I have made adaptations based on my age, lack of flexibility, and lack of inseam length that allows me to easily ride and maneuver a tall bike like my Tiger 1200. Rather than trying to throw my leg over the seat, I simply use the foot peg while the bike is on the kickstand. And no, I don't do this with the bike in neutral or when it is pointed downhill. Another accommodation I have made is not trying to sit on the bike and back it up by using my tiptoes. That is, unless I'm sure that there is a slope going in my favor. Most often, I will simply push the bike backwards before mounting. It takes 3 seconds, and it's much easier. Back to working out. Another thing I do is to give myself more rest. When I was young, I would get to the gym 6 times a week, but now I find that 4 times actually achieves better gains. My body has changed and it requires more time to heal than it used to. No amount of not letting the old man in is going to change that fact. I do a similar thing when traveling by motorcycle by limiting my saddle time each day and making sure to take a day off the bike at least once per week. When tired, I make mistakes, and that is something that I want to avoid when traveling alone on a motorcycle. As far as I'm concerned, understanding that my body has changed and making adjustments both in the gym and on the bike does not show me to be weak, nor am I negative for being honest about what I need at 65 versus 25. That's being smart. In my opinion, if I want to continue working out or traveling by motorcycle, the only thing I can do is accept and adapt. I work out smarter and I ride smarter than I did when I was a young man. That is what enables me to keep doing it, not having balls of steel and pushing myself to the limit. I don't buy into the manosphere version of Stoicism that says that you should be hard, emotionless, and unwilling to admit your weaknesses. Real Stoics look at the world for what it is and focus on what they can control, not on what they can't. We cannot control getting older. We can control how we respond to the changes our bodies inevitably go through. This quote, often attributed to Mark Twain, expresses my feelings about aging very well. Do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many. Whether Mark Twain said this or some other unknown sage, it is very true. Getting older is a privilege, and the wrinkles, gray hair, as well as the aches and pains are badges of honor. There are many miles on this weary body, and I plan on putting on many more, but it does require a bit more maintenance than it used to. Like the 20,000 mile service on my Tiger 1200, it is part of the cost of owning such a high performance machine. Let me finish this discussion on aging by telling a story about the Buddha. It is said that one day he gathered his followers and instructed them that every day before getting out of bed, they should recite these 5 remembrances. I am of the nature to get sick, and there's nothing I can do about it. I am of the nature to grow old, and there's nothing I can do to change that. I am of the nature to die, and everything living eventually dies. Everyone I love, everything I care about, including myself, is of the nature to change. All I have are the fruits of my labors. According to the story, the monks heard this and then they looked at Buddha and said, "Dude, WTF? That's really depressing. Why would you want us to do that?" Then the Buddha replied, "Because all of these things will happen. By acknowledging them every day and reminding yourself they are inevitable, you will prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for life. You will not be surprised when difficulties appear. You still have to deal with them, but not with the additional pain of shock and anger that can come from denying reality. By understanding these are universal truths, you will not feel singled out for misery." We are all going to get old, and we are all going to die. Sorry, but unless they learn to upload our consciousness to the cloud, there is no getting around it. Embrace it, deal with it, enjoy the process. Ride safe and keep squeezing your lemon. If you like what we're doing here on this channel and you want to get some great motorcycle gear, purchase your AEROSTICH products by using the link that is available in the description of this video or out on my website at livingofftheslab.com.